Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Curragh. We're here ready for Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby weekend. Well, what's the word in association with Ladbrokes? It's nice, isn't it? It's not bad.
It's very new and fresh. That carpet smell is lovely, isn't it?
I feel like the Queen. Everywhere she goes smells like fresh paint. It's a Billy Connolly joke, it's not mine.
Okay.
Anyway, Nicola and Brian join me this week, so we're looking forward to that. I mean, it's a new Curragh, but I mean, your favourite memories from the old place?
It's actually quite a recent one. Harzan completing the Derby double for the now retired Pat Smullen.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I stole your
I know.
there,
Go on then.
Actually, one that wouldn't stand out for many others would be Fame and Glory winning his in 2009. I know all the hoo-ha was about would see the stars run at the time, but yeah, I always loved that horse, and he's obviously not with us anymore, but a good sire. So that was another one.
Absolutely, and he was all the rage during the week as well.
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Derby sale too. But yeah, I mean, just so many brilliant. Talk about the horseman today who's going to look for his Derby double, Anthony Van Dyke. I mean, the footsteps he's following in, like say, Galileo, High Chaparral, Australia, Camelot. It's big enough ask though.
I've watched the Derby over, I'd say 100 times at this stage, and everyone is saying that Mad Moon was very unlucky, but Anthony Van Dyke didn't have the clearest run through. And my head says Anthony Van Dyke, but my God, my heart would love to see Mad Moon. You've obviously got the trainer factor with 86-year-old Kevin Prendergast, and Chris Hayes, one of the nicest men in the weigh room.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a piece with Chris Hayes actually at the start of the year where he spoke about how much he loves Mad Moon, how much he's expecting him to improve throughout the season, and that there's an extra special kind of a tinge to the whole thing because I think it was the last top horse that his mother saw him riding before passing away. Last season. So, I mean, he always has a special bond with the horse. So, hopefully on the big stage, I actually think he can do it. It's going to take a really quiet ride. You've got the Kevin Prendergast against the Ballydoyle Battalion. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be fantastic to watch.
Yeah, Nicola, how do they bet?
Well, as you said, Mad Moon is that fairy tale, but it'll be a fairy tale result for the bookmakers as well because they are latching on to Anthony Van Dyke, who's 11-10. Mad Moon's 9-4. I think there is that kind of slight doubt. You know, this is going to be a tougher test than Epsom, so I think it's more suited to Anthony Van Dyke. He's had an incredible season. You can understand why he's so popular at 11-10. 2 out of 2 this season. The Lingfield Derby, the Epsom Derby, and now this. And he even didn't have. It was more impressive because he didn't have the clearest of runs as well that day. On Shamie Heffernan gave him a great ride. But I actually think Broome is the one to be with at 11-4.
Yeah. I don't think he acted in the track at Epsom, but come on.
Yeah, he did. Well, he was upset in the stalls and he was a bit slow out. And, if everything went without a glitch, then I think he'll definitely run a very strong race because the way he finished at Epsom suggests such a thing. So he's in there at 11-4. And last year's winning jockey as well, Donnacha O'Brien, will be on board.
You almost feel like if Broome were to win, it'd almost be a touch of the Frankie getting beaten at Royal Ascot and ruining the party a little bit. It's like
ruining the party. I mean, it was the best day ever for us in the office when that happened. We were like, whew, what a relief.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. The multiple stacked up that day. But I mean, tactically, and you talk about how, avoid the Ballydoyle Battalion. A few times when people just expect that frenetic early pace from Ballydoyle, they don't do it. Yeah. Like a Circus Maximus and Ascot.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many fascinating strands. I mean, we've only got 8 runners, but there's so many fascinating strands to the actual race. I don't know, what way do you think that Mad Moon's going to be ridden? I mean,
I think he'll have to be ridden patiently.
Yeah, like to me, he looks like a 10-furlong horse. I know it's hard to say that when he was second in a Derby that he's not going to stay the trip or anything like that, but I just think he does have that extra gear that maybe some of them mightn't have. But I think he's going to need a quiet ride. And we all know Chris Hayes is a top-notch rider, but I think he's going to prove...
He's going to have to... Do you know what he needs to avoid? A cracksman. Here, do you remember Cracksman got caught 5 wide waiting for a position, and then by the time, because that's one of the things about the Derby course here, there's actually about 5 bends on it. It's not the same as the normal mile-and-a-half course that cuts in. It actually goes out further, so they're actually turning for, I think it's the guts of 5 furlongs. So it's not even though it's a free gallop up the straight, it's actually quite difficult if you do get caught on the outside. So that he want to be avoiding that. But I think Chris. I think Chris knows the place well enough to...
He knows it better than me anyway, that's for sure.
But, I mean, are there any other potential winners? We have Dermot Well potentially becoming the 4-time Irish Derby winner. There'll be some story from Rackham, but then again, so Latrobe did it last year, 7 from a maiden.
I think it's a much stronger Derby this year. I can't really see a surprise. I do appreciate Broome, but I think he looks more of a stayer. I could see him running... Yeah, possibly, yeah. I just think it's going to be revolving around the 1-2 at Epsom again, and hopefully... For my sake, I hope. And
a lot easier to write a story,
exactly.
Actually, obviously Kevin Prendergast's dad, Paddy, won the race 4 times. The last time he won the race, 1965.
Right. Okay.
Aidan
Way before all
O'Brien
of our
was
time
only
anyway.
born in 1969.
Right,
So
okay.
Aidan O'Brien has run 12 Irish Derbies, and his son has won one, and poor Captain Prendergast is still waiting for his first. So it just goes to show how difficult it is, I guess. But right, final selection time for the Dubai Duty Free Irish Derby.
Broom for me,
Broom.
11-4.
I'll give you 1, 2, 3.
Go,
Mad
okay.
Moon, Anthony Van Dyke, Broom.
And I think it's going to be the Aidan O'Brien 1-2, which is priced at 6-4, and I like that too.
Okay, any Aidan O'Brien 1-2 or the straight forecast story?
No, any Aidan O'Brien to
Any
train the
Aidan O'Brien
1-2,
1-2?
always 6-4.
I mean, we ended up with a Seville, Treasure Beach, something scenario like that.
Happened before.
It
has.
Intriguing. Right, so your 1, 2, 3 is
Mad Moon, Anthony Van Dyke, and Broom.
Broom. Okie doke. I'm with Nicola. I think Broom
Yeah.
might. I think
Broom, Anthony Van Dyke, then Mad Moon.
I can't really see past those first three.
No.
Elsewhere on the Curragh card, for the Gain Railway Stakes just beforehand, even though there's just 5 go to post for this is cracking renewal, I think. Anyway, Nicola, how did they bet?
We'll have the prices up by the time this goes live, but just as a kind of idea, I thought Siskin looked so good last time out, so there's going to be very little between him and Monica of Egypt. Very little between them, and Fort Myers will be behind those two.
Do you think it's a bang match between the two?
Yeah, I love Siskin. I'm just going to drop a little bit of a... We were down in Ballydoyle at the start of the season. And,
Thank you, David Jennings.
yeah.
Classic. Were you in Melbourne as well?
No,
I
not that well.
Nicola, you're not asking.
you.
Sorry, go on.
Kings here. But anyway, yeah, so we were down in Ballydoyle, and just before we left, Aidan left us with 1 2-year-old to follow. That was Monarch of Egypt. He just had his name changed. He obviously did the business at Naas. He does look a quite exciting sort, but I love this Siskin. Absolutely love him. Was really taking him here when he won the Marble Hill. Form has worked out well. There's nothing not to like.
And Ger loves that route.
Yeah.
He doesn't particularly like sending his 2-year-olds to Royal Ascot. I think it's too much too soon for them generally.
Yeah, and he doesn't have to. He can come win this and maybe win a Group 1 before his
Yeah, well,
2-year-old
Phoenix, I think the
yeah.
Phoenix Stakes is the ultimate goal for him.
Yeah,
But
I think he's a lovely attitude. He's got the extra run, which could count a lot for a juvenile over Monarch of Egypt. I think 2 very nice calls going forward, but Siskin for today.
Siskin, would you be with Monarch
I'm
of
with
Egypt?
Siskin.
With Siskin,
Yeah.
yeah, he's a really, really nice sort.
And after that case, that's just been me.
yeah, well, look, he was in a state visit in Ballydoyle. Just look elsewhere on the cards, obviously the Pitman's Derby, the
Yes.
Northumberland Plate.
There was a big
The bookies
plunge
were
during
running
the
for
week.
cover earlier on in the week.
Kind of caught us by surprise because obviously he's been off for the track for 2 years, but according to his trainer, he's showing all the right signs. Obviously, Roger Varian's in great form at the minute, but we are top price of 4-1, and we're happy to lay that.
He's a lot shorter out there.
Exactly. So we're not kind of jumping on that plunge wagon and getting too scared. The one actually we've seen money for, interestingly enough, is Tony Bloom's second horse. Obviously he won it last year with Hold, but the money's been coming for Stratham this year, and Stratham's overtaken with Hold in the betting now at 8-1, trained by Willie Mullins, of course. So I suppose with Hold, we haven't seen him since October when he burst a blood vessel in Melbourne and didn't actually get to the Melbourne Cup. But at a bigger price, I think Pershima looks a bit of value in there, 14-1. He returned to form, and the trip and everything. I think he ticks all the right trend boxes too.
Good stuff. Money for Stratham? Would you be with Stratham? Would you think?
Well, with Hold is out.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
yes.
thanks for that. Just let me keep talking.
Yeah, Stratham obviously, I think he's £8 higher than when he was absolutely hammered in the Ebor. He got a nightmare passage. I mean, he got.
Yeah, he just nothing went from that day.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming here off a lowly win at Ballinrobe, but he strikes me as a horse who has a big payday on the level in it.
Yeah.
And I think
It's kind of ideal as well. Like there's opportunities for these dual-purpose horses to get really quiet runs into them in the likes of Ballinrobe and just have them spot on for this without affecting anything sort of on the other ratings. I don't think the BHA love that, but you know, what you gonna do?
I mean, like Willie Mullins, his dual-purpose dual-purpose horses have been just, I think, Low Sun and some.
Although Limini did manage to get beaten over ludicrously low rating in Galway last year before making light of it eventually. But
yeah, I mean, they're quite lucrative, especially with £1 million up for grab with the likes of an Ebor.
The Ebor has basically changed the landscape for the Stayers program completely, hasn't it? Like,
if you had a decent 2-mile handicap hurdler, wouldn't you be thinking twice about keeping him on the go during the summer? Maybe if you had the speed for the flats. So.
Undoubtedly, a bit of good ground as well. Elsewhere in Newmarket, we have that 7 furlong race. We're looking forward to that. A glorious journey here.
It's been going really well since being gelded. Looked good at Windsor last month, and this will probably be his ideal trip. 11-4 favourite, but. Yeah, Lamato's not the horse that he once was, but he's still, he had 3 wins last season, looked promising on his return, and as you said, might not need to be in this race. 3-1 second favourite. There's very little between them. Probably the one I like out of them all, 5-1 Tabarak, who's in there. And Richard Hannon's the most winning trainer of this race. He finished 4th in the race last year, and I thought his return at Ascot in May there looked quite eye-catching. So that's my selection at 5-1.
Yeah, Lamato. Is there anyone who hasn't?
I'll be honest, I have no opinion on this race whatsoever.
I've
got plenty for the rest of the card.
Good stuff. Okay, just on Lamato, it's great to see him back, but my goodness, at 15-8, how you could possibly trust him? I really like the horse, but my good, no, 15-8. Yes, he'll get his good ground. I'd be with kind of Glorious Journey all day long, and the progressive angle in my favourite silks in racing. But anyway, rest of the Curragh card, you like a few?
I can wrap it up very quickly.
Don't rush.
In the 145, City Man, Andy Slattery, Ben Cohen. Andy Slattery, a brilliant trainer of these handicappers. I think we spoke last week on What's the Word about City Man. A little bit of after-time answer here going on ahead of his trio handicap. Duly obliged. And I think he can step into this company.
On City Man,
yes.
2 things. Do you think the ground might be a bit quick? And do you think he got slightly intimidated the last day he was here? Just in a big field handicap, would you be slightly worried about him?
Not really. He didn't get the clearest of runs through. I don't think it was his fault. And the ground, he's won at Dundalk.
I'm going to take you on.
Okay.
Just Ducky Mallon loves the place.
I thought Ducky Mallon needs soft ground. So.
No, Tatosha won a Fairy House the other day. They're delighted. This is his Gold Cup Champion Stakes, the whole lot for Ducky Mallon. This is his big target. I agree with you, by the way. Of this lot, in 6 months' time, City Man will be the best of these by a considerable amount. But I'd put up Ducky Mallon against you, just because I know it's his day. I've
lost enough money on Ducky Mallon down to here, so I'm a bit biased there.
No doubt. Elsewhere on the Curragh card?
Yeah, the 220, you've got the dash. Speaking colours is very interesting. He's got that. The quick turnaround. He was only 4th in the Diamond Jubilee last week, so it's a quick turnaround to come and.
This is a far lesser race, though, to be fair.
He should be hard to beat, but.
We saw LS Trinota do it here. Quick turnaround from Cork, absolutely hosed up. So
can be done. Yeah, I like him, and in the.
Blue Point obviously did it in a 4-day turnaround as well. So it's doable.
Yeah, he's going to be obvious. One that's not quite obvious is the mile handicap, the mile Premier handicap at 4:05. Salt and Stall. Now. A lot of people have been burnt on Salt and Stall, especially at Doncaster at the start of the season. But
I'm going to take you on here again, but
he's down to a low mark now. He's obviously had his training problems, but if ever a horse with training problems can come to the fore, it's on the beach with Aidan McGuinness's tutelage. I spoke to him this morning as well, and he gave me the thumbs up that he thinks of the three that he is the one.
Okay.
So I think Salt and Stall might just put recent form behind him.
On a similar argument to yours in City Man, I'd be with Jassar here, who I hoped but just didn't get.
Yeah, just didn't get into the Royal Hunt Cup.
He didn't get into the Royal Hunt Cup. This is no Royal Hunt Cup. I'm not saying he would have won a Royal Hunt Cup, but I just oppose you with Jassar in that one. Anything else going right head-to-head battle?
Georgeville. What about Georgeville?
Big fan of Georgeville. Yeah, finally we're going to go together. Georgeville.
I'll put forward Georgeville to complete the hat-trick.
I don't think I would be amazed if the English horse runs on the ground. It'll probably have a little bit of Adib. It'll probably have a bit of firm in the going. Right. And even if he does stay in the market, he could make it for us possibly, couldn't he?
Yeah, I think you'll probably get about 5-2, maybe 3-1 if I'm being a bit greedy.
If you're being a little bit greedy, I'd say I think Nicola wouldn't be too impressed.
I'm just going to have a glass of wine, guys, while you chat. Don't mind me.
You got anything else for us on Saturday?
No, we haven't got anything up, so hence I've left you guys to do it. No prizes as of yet.
Right, I think we'll move on to our best bets then over the course of the weekend. Go on, Nicola, we'll start with
Well, it's got to be Broom for me in the Irish Derby, and I'm also going to say I do fancy Aidan O'Brien to have the 1-2 at 6-4. I think it's a nice price.
That is a good price.
Yeah. In the Northumberland Plate, I'm going to go with Prashima, and then also in Newmarket. How do you pronounce that race? I can never say it. Criterion, sorry.
Criterion, yeah.
That's it. Tabarak is my selection there.
Cool. Brian.
Yeah, we've got the 440, the Railway Stakes, Siskin. The Derby, which is at 5:20, we're going for Mad Moon. And I'm going to go and stick in City Man in the 145 to confirm myself an improving sprint handicapper.
Right, I'm tempted to take it on with...
All of my selections.
No. I'll stick with Jassar in the handicap. I think Broome will win the Derby, and we'll go with Siskin in the Railway Stakes as well. He looks a really quality animal. He's probably going to be a Group 1 horse in time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us here at the Curragh. We'll be back again in studio in our usual spot next week for more What's the Word.